Alright, so today I need to change the battery on this car. The symptoms that I experienced was that the car was very difficult to start and it cranked very slowly. The battery I know is the original battery that came with the car, so the battery is actually about 5 years old. So I suspect that the battery is bad. So I bought a new battery at the auto parts store, and in most auto parts stores will actually change the battery for you. However, I actually bought this battery at Costco, and Costco does not change the battery. So changing the battery is quite simple. The first thing that we want to do is loosen the tie down fasteners. This is what keeps the battery from moving around. So in this case here, it's just a couple of bolts, a little bit rusty. A little bit of squirt of WD-40 would probably have made this a little bit easier, but not too bad, so we'll be okay with that. This has a little hook at the bottom that hooks below the battery tray. We'll set this up on top. Next thing we want to do is remove the protective cover from the positive. Okay, so this is the positive terminal right here, has a plus sign, and the negative terminal has a negative sign. You need to make sure you understand the difference between the two. When you disconnect the battery, you really want to disconnect the negative side first. That is will prevent any sparks or anything like that from happening, generally speaking. So you loosen up the terminal and then go ahead and remove that from the battery. Right now the battery is isolated because of that negative terminal. Now, this is the positive terminal. A word about buying a battery from a place like Costco. So I had to pay a core charge for this battery, which means I'll need to bring this old battery back to Costco. Okay, so this is the removal of the positive terminal of the battery. It looks actually a little bit dirty. I have bought some cleaner material that'll clean that up, so when I put the new one on. The problem sometimes with a car that's hard to start might be that these terminals are actually dirty. That actually could be the case with this one, but I've bought a new battery. I'm going to go ahead and change the battery. So the battery is completely disconnected, so I'll remove it. And in that place, I will set the new battery. The installation is opposite of the removal. I buy these little packets of battery terminal protector when I replace a battery, and that'll help this battery to get a good connection. So with this, you just put a liberal amount of this on the terminal here for both the positive and the negative. The caps that came with it, I just put that on the old battery. It's kind of a dirty job. It's probably not a bad idea to wear gloves. Being a mechanic, I guess I'm used to getting my hands dirty, so I don't mind. So the installation is opposite of the removal. We're going to put the positive terminal on first. Since I have a whole container of this protectant, I'm going to go ahead and just use a little bit extra on there. This will keep the corrosion down. Then I will tighten up the terminal. It doesn't need to be terribly tight. It just needs to be solid, and it is. And then we have the negative side. Same Same thing, doesn't have to be overly tight, just enough so it's secure. Then our hold down. Again, this has a hook, which is sometimes a bit of a challenge to find. And then you position this properly, which no doubt is going to give me a little bit of grief here. Not too bad. Get my fastener started there. And then tighten this back down. Put my cover on, which I probably could have done that before to protect that positive and a battery. So that looks pretty good. Now it's time for an operational test. Alright, the battery's installed. Everything looks good and secure. I've checked my work to make sure that nothing is left over. I've removed all my tools from the engine compartment. I think that we're ready for an operational test, so I'll go ahead and start the car and make sure that this battery works fine. Alright, and it started right up, so I would say that this battery is a good solution for the problem that I had. I expect this battery to last me about 5 years, so I'll make a record of that, maybe keep that in my glove compartment so that I know when I changed it last. It says right here 3 of 19. This is actually June of 19, but the battery was manufactured March of 19.